It rained yesterday, my forehead looks really big and I'm missing a nail, but we still gonna wang with it. If you are my A1 day ones, I love y'all to the moon and back. Y'all already know we gonna keep it real, and I am not about to plug up this flat iron and flat on my hair just to do this video. Now, if you are new here, my name is Rajiva. I did 8.5 years in the Department of Corrections in the state of Florida for trafficking in cocaine. Let's just jump right into it. My last video, I pretty much mentioned at the end of the video that when I went to confinement, my entire life changed and I was never the same. That is not an exaggeration. Kind of a little bit, but not really. This video, I'm gonna talk about one of the worst officers I encountered when I was in the county jail. I got to give her a name. I should just say her name, but I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna call her Officer Smith. When I first got to the jail, I was in the intake cell, which is pretty much where they first put you. Sometimes you get bonded out, so you're only there a little bit and you go. If you actually sit in jail, then you get classified out and they put you in whatever cell you go in. I was put in maximum security. I had a trafficking charge. For whatever reason, they felt like drugs, unaliving people, arson, and all of that was the same. Wild. But anyways, so now I'm meeting my new people. I told y'all about my 88-year-old cellmate, Polar Lady. Once you get locked up, what people love to do is to be the first person to tell a story. I don't know why. And it's still the same to this day. Like, people love to be the one to expose you to information. I mean, in jail, it's good for you because I need to be put up on games. They're telling you about the officers, how things work. I'm asking questions like, so what time do we do this? When do we do this? Do we go outside? Can we use the phone? How you get the phone set up? Just regular questions, because it ain't something that you know. You don't go to jail and they give you a manual on how to be an inmate. They telling me everything. They're like, oh, this is how you do the phones. This is how visitation goes. They got to do this. They got to do that. And now they like, okay, yeah, and the officers, these are the ones you need to watch out for. These are the ones that's cool. These are the ones that you can get away with stuff, this, that, and the third. So they was telling me about Officer Smith, and they was like, when Officer Smith is here, we just go lay down. Like, just lay down, just relax. That's when you need to get your rest. Whenever she's on shift, we not turning up. So I'm like, okay, well, what's so bad about Officer Smith? And they like, listen, they was like, she would take your stuff. She would come in here. If you too loud, she would come in and shake you down. She would make sure you the last cell to eat. She won't come pick up your trays in the morning so that you got to sit around and wait on her to come get them before you can lay back down. Any reason she would deny you recreation. Now, I'm not understanding at this point how bad it is, because I always felt like correctional officers was police officers, and I felt like they was the demons. So I'm like, okay, that seemed like light work. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's all they do? They don't take your soul? She didn't come on shift for a couple of days while I was in there. And when I tell you I was very picky when I first got locked up, who is eating jail food? I'm not eating that. I am not eating that. My mama was one of those people, because I didn't really eat a lot of stuff. I was very picky. She accommodated it. So growing up, I never had to eat something that I did not want to eat. I got to jail, I'm not eating that. When you see pictures of jailhouse food, it looks exactly like that. That is not exaggeration. That is not the worst picture they could find. That is literally the representation of what they feed you. Mind you, in jail, if you don't really get money, you be banking on meal times. You're supposed to sell that. You're supposed to swap it out for something. Okay, if I give you this, you give me this. I eventually eat, of course, because when they say hungry is the best seasoning, I almost ate the plastic tray. I think I went 3 days without eating. Before I encounter Officer Smith, I'm seeing the other officers in there, and I'm assuming all of them is demon possessed. So I'm like, yeah, these people finna come in here, they finna act crazy. You got officers that come in, they nice, they smiling, they do their job and they go. They don't really talk, and if they do say something, it's something pleasant. It's not something disrespectful. So I'm like, this is cool. Officer Smith is starting to sound like a problem. So she finally comes on shift. When I seen Officer Smith, now mind you, okay, mind you, this is the county jail. They was like, oh, she in the bubble. So the bubble is just pretty much like a little circle office that's in the middle of all of the cells that are surrounded it. And it's glass. And it's, of course, bars in the cell, so they can see you, you can see them. They can turn off lights where you can't see them as good, but you can see them. I'm like looking, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, I'm trying to put a name with a face. I'm trying to eye the opponent. When I seen who Officer Smith was, y'all, this lady, she was the sister of my pastor. This lady was the sister of my pastor, of the church that I went to. And when I seen her, now mind you, now let's go back. When we used to be in church and stuff, she always had a mug. She wore glasses. She was always looking real mean. But I never really had to deal with her because, I mean, I was at church. She always looked like she got a problem. Like, lady, fix your face. And she just always had this demeanor where something was off. And I've seen her be rude to people. I've seen her be short with people and stuff like that. But nothing ever personal towards me because I didn't have to interact with her. Maybe it's just her personality. So we in there, we playing cards. We at the table. Boom. We playing cards. I'm learning how to play spades. And y'all, people do not play about spades in the county jail. Ain't nobody just playing for fun. You have to learn really fast, so nobody's gonna play with you. If you sorry, nobody's playing cards with you. They want a turned up game. They want a good game. So I'm trying to learn as fast as I can. I guess we had got a little loud because, you know, spades get a little turned. If you ain't standing up, you not playing cards. If you not talking junk the whole time, if you not on your seat like, yeah, I'm gonna cut it. It really ain't no point to playing spades. What you playing for? So she comes in and she shuts down the day room. She was like, day room closed. Y'all go in your cell. It's y'all too loud in here. Cut off the TV. Day room closed. Day room, mind you, in jail is not like prison. Jail, you're locked in the cell 24/7. You have the cell, you have the day room. All you have during the day is the day room for you to sit down, play cards, eat, watch TV. You go outside a few times a week for like an hour. If you can't use the day room, you literally have to sit on your bed and do what? Oh, she tripping just because we was playing cards? The thing that used to get me in trouble when I was incarcerated is my face. I've always had a problem with law enforcement officers. I just never seen a positive example. I've never seen a good officer. I never seen one that was like, oh, he ain't so bad. So I equated correctional officers to police officers. I've never had a positive encounter. I've never seen somebody have a positive encounter. So I don't like none of y'all. I had a very bad, I do not like the police mentality before I got locked up. Like, you know, so Ace always told on it. Like, it was always like, anytime they talked, it was like, or if they was talking, I learned the art of disrespect at a very young age. It's disrespectful for somebody to be talking and for you to never make contact with them, or to never look somebody in the eyes. And I was one of those people, I never acknowledged officers to look them in their face. Like, they come in talking, I'll walk in the cell. And this was all throughout prison. It used to get me in trouble a lot. It is very disrespectful for somebody to never look at you in the face and acknowledge you. When you're in a power dynamic where it's an officer who has full authority over somebody, a lot of people cannot take the subtle disrespect. Or if they're talking, I will get up and walk off unless you're directly talking to me. Like, if I'm in a group of people and they're like, oh, y'all need to put all that stuff away, I will literally just get up and walk in the opposite direction while they're talking. And they pick up on these very subtle disrespects, which you're supposed to. But it's so subtle where it's like you can't really write me up or say I'm being disrespectful, but we both know that I'm being disrespectful. And if they did say something to me, my face used to be like this. And I wouldn't respond. Like, they'll ask me a question, I'll make them ask me 5 times. So if they be like, whose bed is this? If it's my bed, I'll just be like, I said, who bed is this? Mine. Very disrespectful. Now, over the years, I became less disrespectful. I stayed out of the way. But I had hate for these people, right? So imagine hating somebody and then they have full autonomy over you. They can do whatever, say whatever. You're automatically wrong. You belong to the state. Mind you, this is the first time I seen this lady. And like, I'm looking at her like, ma'am, the pastor's your brother. You in here acting like this? So they begging her. I'm not begging nobody. So she's like, matter of fact, y'all not going to rec either. She just started taking some. The rest of her shift, we just got on the bed. We just relaxed, just chilled. We came out to eat. That's all we could do. Went back in the cell. Next time she come to work, she come in, she's doing her count time or whatever, and I'm sitting up on the bed. I'm not even looking at her. This is how you know when the little subtle things that you're doing to somebody is starting to get to them. Mind you, they count us like 8 times a day. So every time you sit on your bed, they come through, they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they going on about their business. I don't look at home, pay her no attention, I don't acknowledge. They be like, sit up for count. I sit up. I'm like this. While they counting and all that. Now she gets to the point where she's like, she wants to tell me what to do. Like, she wants to make me do something. She's like, hold up your wristband so I can make sure y'all got y'all wristbands on. When you don't just give people the authority or the respect, if they're entitled to it, which she was, she's entitled to the authority, they're gonna find ways to remind you. If it's small or if it's big, hopefully you better hope it's small. She was like, why she keep doing that? I was like, I have that effect on people. So we get off for count time. They open up the door. We out there and we're playing cards and everything. Mind you, now I know how we have to act because she's here. So we act in cordial as we can. She comes in the cells and she starts talking about she's doing random locker searches. Now, the officers do have to do a certain amount of regular locker searches. Just pick, I don't know what their quota is. I don't know if it's 1 per shift. I don't know if it's 10 per shift. They have a clipboard, they walk around, they write down what your bed is, and they check your locker for contraband. Contraband is anything that the jail or the prison does not give you. And contraband can also be if you have too many. If the jailhouse gives you 3 pair of underwear and you have 4, even though underwear aren't contraband, having 4 is, and they will take the extra pair. If you're supposed to have 2 t-shirts and you have 3, they will take the extra one. So anything that the state does not give you, or something that they give you that you have too many of. Guess whose locker she wants to check? I'm playing cards. Most times, they just go to somebody who's already at their bed. It just makes it easier. Like, I'm not coming in here to target you. It just so happened you at your bed. Plus, it makes it easier because that person's already there. You don't have to wait for this person to stop, get up, have an app. You know, you don't have to do that. When they really are doing random searches, they would just go whoever's at the bed. It's like, oh, open up your locker, and they do like a little light search. You can tell they just doing it because they have a quota. Little light search. All right, you good. Then they go to the next person, blah, blah, blah. Because you see that bag, it's a little clear bag. Look like this. Probably a little bigger than this. It's a little clear bag. They have one of these, and they come in with a clipboard with a paper on it. Them is locker searches. So anytime you see that, you find a reason to not be at your bed if you got something you ain't supposed to have. Whether that's you better go take you a shower, you better go use the bathroom, or you better go play cards or get on the phone. People do run from locker searches. So she like, use locker search. So I'm like, I look in the cell and I see people by their bed, and it's like, why you want to search my locker? I'm like, all right, whatever. But I play my card and I get up and I walk my bed. I ain't looked at this lady, ain't acknowledged her. So she's like, open up your locker. It's very disrespectful for you to move in slow motion. Y'all know that. Y'all got kids. Y'all was kids. It's very disrespectful for you to move in slow motion. When somebody asks you to do something, I'm talking about she's slinging my stuff all around. Now, mind you, they're supposed to be as orderly as possible and to try to put it back the way that it was as best as possible. Now, they're not going to remake your bed and make it how you make it or organize your locker, but they're supposed to be as respectful as possible and to put it back. They don't just have autonomy to just ransack your stuff and then just, oh, keep moving. Now, they do that because ain't nothing you can say, but the people who have some type of respect, they try not to disrespect your stuff too much. This lady was slinging my stuff from one end of the locker to the next. Now, mind you, I ain't have nothing. I was in jail. I ain't have no money. This lady was taking her time. She was unfolding all of my little clothes, moving stuff around, just doing stuff. So I'm like, all right, so she searched the locker. So we go back to playing cards. So we end up playing cards. And this is just a couple of encounters, and it just kept being like this. Now, granted, I will say that I wasn't the most... I probably deserved a lot of the way that I was being treated. But at the end of the day, I really did try to do all of this in one video. But this story is getting out of hand. Pretty much, it just went back and forth for a while. She would exert her authority. I mean, she wasn't gonna get it no other way. We would continue to have these issues, and it all came to a head, and I was tired of it. And it's like, ma'am, once again, the pastor is your brother. You pretty much like a figure in the church, and this is how you carrying on, like this is how you treat people. And it just kept going on, and it's like, yes, I wasn't the most respectful. No, I was not. A lot of stuff I did egg on myself. Yes, the Bible does tell you to submit to authorities and you will not receive punishment. If I would have just submitted and showed that lady the respect that I was supposed to show her, things probably would have went a lot different. I was 20 years old. That's not an excuse. I just didn't care. Right? So it went on like that. And I'm going to tell y'all about that in the next video when I mention how my life was forever changed in confinement. This video is getting too long. So I will see y'all in the next one. I love y'all.